Welcome to the Wife Stories YouTube channel. New video every day, and don't forget to subscribe. Here we go.
You are strong, right? Strong enough to handle anything, they say. I've heard those words more times than I can count. I've heard them from friends, from neighbors, from strangers in bars who see me as this tall, steady guy. I used to take it like a compliment, maybe even a bit of praise. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe we both know the truth. Strength can mean all sorts of things. Your ability to keep calm, your ability to absorb blows, or your ability to pretend you don't feel them in the first place. I'm not going to lie to you. Tonight, I'm not sure how strong I am. I'm not sure if this internal scaffolding of mine is made of steel or cardboard, but I do know I'm done with illusions, because illusions are soft and I need something sharp, something precise. Something that cuts right down to the bone. Like a scalpel. A surgeon's instrument. I've been sitting here in the dark for hours, and I've heard her breathing. Hers is too light, like she's exhaling guilt. She thinks I'm asleep, and she tries not to stir the air when she slips back into our bedroom. But I hear it anyway. That tiny hitch in her breath. It's enough to snap my eyes open, to feel my heart contract. Because that breath isn't the same as before. It's touched by something else. Someone else. And maybe that's what terrifies me the most. I check my phone. It's close to 6 in the morning. The digital lock on our front door recorded her leaving at 4. She came back at 5:40. No explanation. No reason. If I asked, I'm sure she'd rattle off some story. A friend in distress. An emergency. Oh, it's just a misunderstanding. But I don't need her excuses. I already know. There's a certain cruelty in knowledge. It's cold, clinical, but it's also unstoppable. Like water seeping under a locked door. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. You can only decide what you're going to do next. Some men would blow up in rage, slam doors, shout, threaten. But I'm not that man. I think, if I must respond, I'll do it methodically. Not for the sake of revenge, not yet, but simply to test what's left of me. To see if I can survive the process, piece by piece. At the moment, I lie still. My eyes are half closed. I listen to her footsteps cross the kitchen, then the living room. She's probably slipped her shoes off, hoping I won't notice the faint squeak of wet soles. It rained tonight. Or maybe it was sea spray if she was near the water. A random thought. Did they meet by the ocean? Was she barefoot in the sand with him? Did she let him guide her hand, her body, in some dark cove where the city lights can't reach? I chase away that image before it roots itself too deeply in my mind. My phone glows faintly. I open the app that connects to our electronic lock. The timeline is there in plain text. 4:02 a.m. Door opened. 5:40 a.m. Door opened again. The time does lie, in a sense. It's a tool, a reminder that she left me here alone in the middle of the night. And it confirms what I've suspected for a while now. I feel my stomach knot up. The tension throbs behind my eyes. She makes her way to the bedroom. I pretend to sleep. She undresses quietly. I imagine her body, warm from someone else's touch, trying to slip under the covers as if nothing has changed. Her breathing still has that slightly hurried edge to it. For a moment, I can't breathe at all. Like a fist is closing around my lungs. When I finally inhale, it feels like the first full breath I've taken in months. Months. Has it gone on that long? Maybe yes, maybe no. The phone records date back only a few weeks, but my suspicions date back further. Suspicion is a slow acid. It doesn't corrode all at once. It chips away. The look in her eyes when she comes home. The cryptic texts at strange hours. The sudden urges to leave for a walk or a quick errand. A new friend she never wanted to talk about. I saw it all. Maybe I was in denial. Or maybe I needed proof so I could face it clinically. A man of facts, I used to say. A journalist by trade. In truth, maybe I'm just a coward. I let the night pass. She eventually settles into uneasy sleep. I keep my eyes open, staring into the darkness, one hand on my phone. She used to place her hand on my chest in moments like these, her palm pressed over my heartbeat. She used to tell me she loved the sound of it. That was before we lost our child, before the silences, before every conversation became a landmine of half-truths. Now that bond is gone, replaced by separate orbits. Hers is a silent, hidden path that intersects with another man. That's the heartbreak. Not so much the physical infidelity, though that alone is enough to shatter me, but the shift in her breath, the intangible knowledge that she has become a stranger in my arms. The next morning, I wake to the alarm. She stirs beside me, stretches, acts casual. I get up, no words, no good morning. Her eyes flick to me, but she doesn't speak. She knows I know something, or at least senses the distance. She always tries to mend it with small talk or a contrite smile, but I can't be mended right now. She goes to the kitchen, starts the coffee. I linger a moment in the bedroom, fix my gaze on the sheets. There's a scent there, faint but unmistakable. It's not mine. I clench my jaw, let the anger swirl in my lungs. Then I exhale. Surgeons don't panic. They plan. They decide on each incision with care. They note precisely how they will cut the patient open and remove the rot. So I walk to the kitchen with that plan forming in my head. She's at the counter, hair pinned up in a loose knot. She's wearing yoga pants and a simple t-shirt. She looks innocent, almost. It's strange. How can this be the same woman who creeps out at 4 in the morning for a rendezvous with another man? The same woman who once looked at me with starry eyes, and I believed her sincerity. "Coffee's ready," she says quietly, as if we're sharing a hotel room with strangers next door. "Thanks," I reply, official and distant. She turns her back, rummaging in a cabinet, then sets 2 mugs down. I watch the gestures, all so practiced. She knows I drink mine black. Hers is with cream. Then we stand, each holding a mug, not saying a word. I take a sip. She glances at me. "You okay?" My eyes flick to the window, where the sunrise is half obscured by a curtain. "I'm fine." A wave of guilt passes over her features, but she tries to hide it. She always does. She's had practice. She steps closer, and I step away. I see a tremor in her hand. She places her mug on the counter to keep me from noticing. But I do. I notice everything. "I'll be out for a bit," I say. "Need to check on something at the paper." She nods, not asking any further questions. She's relieved, maybe. Relieved I'm not confronting her directly, maybe. And that's good, because confrontation is too quick, too messy. A real plan needs precision. If I let my anger run amok, it'll burn down the entire city in 1 hour, leaving me with just ash. I don't want that. I want the truth to pierce her. I want her to see it etched into her phone screen, in the digital spaces she thinks belong to her private world. I step out onto the street with that intention crystallizing. Step 1. Gather the final confirmation. Step 2. Sabotage that small piece of her that's feeding the affair. Step 3. Watch it unravel. I'm not sure if you'd call it revenge. It might be something else. Curiosity, maybe. How does she react when her safe space is invaded? When her illusions are undone? A raw, surgical cut to the nerve. That's what I'm after. Outside, the morning's cool air hits me. A neighbor waves from across the street. I wave back absently. The world keeps turning, oblivious to my private meltdown. It always does. People go on walks, kids catch the school bus. The mail arrives. Life never stops for heartbreak. I get in my car, an old sit-in, not fancy. Inside, I glance at the passenger seat where her scarf still lies from last week. Pale blue, she once said it was her favorite color because it reminded her of the sky after a storm. I remember how she smiled when I bought it for her. Another memory withers in my mind, replaced by the present. That same woman slipping off that same scarf, maybe at a stranger's place. My throat tightens. I start the engine, driving nowhere in particular. I just need to think. It's not the first time I've suspected. A while back, I noticed a text on her phone, a message from a number not saved in her contacts. Just a quick, "I miss you," with a winky face. She brushed it off as a coworker playing a joke. I wanted to believe her. I told myself, don't jump to conclusions. After all, men are taught not to be paranoid, not to be insecure. Yet here I am, proven right. Midway through the drive, my phone buzzes. I pull over and check it. An email from my boss about an upcoming deadline. Nothing urgent. My mind is already somewhere else. I recall the details from the night before. How she left. How she returned. My thoughts drift to him. Michael, that real estate guy I once saw her chatting with at a friend's barbecue. He was tall, confident, the type who never stops talking about his next big deal. She introduced me, and I remember the handshake. Firm, a bit too firm, as if he needed to prove something. We parted ways, and I forgot about him until about a month ago, when I came home early and found a suspicious text on her phone. I only saw the name M. That was enough to plant the seed of suspicion. Now it's in full bloom. I drive on, passing the local coffee shop and the corner store. My plan forms with each passing street. I know how to do it. Her phone is easily accessible. She rarely sets a passcode for anything except her main screen, but I know that code. It's the same one we use for the lock on the house. The next time she leaves it unattended, I'll slip in, go to her text autocorrect settings, and do the deed. It'll be subtle. She won't notice at first. But the moment she types certain words, they'll transform into the raw truth. The sabotage will be unstoppable if she's not paying attention. And that will be my scalpel. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Around noon, I come home. She's in the living room, going through her notes for work, some child psychology materials. She looks up with forced pleasantness. "How was the office?" she asks. I shrug. "Fine. Slow day." She nods and returns to her notes. The window behind her is half open, letting in a warm draft. Outside, the sky is bright, a mocking testament to a day that seems calm on the surface. I stand there, watching her for a moment, thinking about the gap between us. This is the woman I married. I remember how we used to make dinner together, slow dancing in the kitchen to old jazz tunes. I wonder if she's done the same with him. A flash of anger surges, but I swallow it back. Step 1. Keep it together. "I'm going to take a shower," I say. "After that, maybe we can talk." She glances at me, eyes fluttering. "Sure." I walk off, and from the corner of my eye, I see her grab her phone from the coffee table. My mind conjures the scene. Bodies tangled, her breath quick, her hands clutching his shoulders. I want to punch the tile in front of me, but I don't. Instead, I let the water run until it goes cold. That's how I keep from screaming. I step out, towel off, throw on clean clothes, a simple t-shirt and jeans. When I get back to the living room, she's not there. Her phone, though, sits alone on the coffee table. It's like a glimmering lure, waiting for me to take the bait. I glance around. The house is silent. She must have gone to the bedroom or out to the backyard. Perfect. I pick up the phone. It's unlocked. She left it open, probably checking a message or an email. Forgot to lock it. My hands move swiftly, as though possessed by a sense of purpose. I open her settings. Keyboard. Text replacement. My heart thumps so hard I can feel the pulse in my fingertips. Then, carefully, I type in the new rule. Whenever she types, "I love you," it autocorrects to "I betray you." I add a few more subtle landmines, but that's the main one, the most devastating. The rest are small stings, but "I love you" turning into "I betray you" is the kill shot. I hit save, slip the phone back. Footsteps approach. I release the phone as though it's a venomous snake. She enters the living room, sees me, and for a moment there's an uneasy flash in her expression. "What are you doing?" she asks, her tone too casual. Looking for the TV remote, I lie, scanning the couch cushions. Wanted to check the news. She relaxes a fraction, nods. I might have left it in the kitchen. I give a short nod and walk away, feigning disinterest. Inside, I'm brimming with tension. I realize my plan is set in motion. Step 2 is complete. Now I wait. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. That night, she leaves again. She says she's going out for groceries, but her voice quivers slightly on the word. She tries to kiss me on the cheek before stepping out, but I turn away, so she just lightly grazes my shoulder. We both pretend not to notice how awkward that is. Then she's gone, her footsteps hurrying down the front path. My hands close into fists as I watch her drive off. I glance at the clock. It's 9:14 p.m. The grocery stores close at 10. I doubt she's going to any store. I imagine her meeting him at some secluded spot. Maybe a parking lot near the beach, or a half-finished house he's trying to sell. My mind conjures half-lit rooms, shadows on the walls, her panting breath against his ear. A surge of heat shoots up my neck. I press my lips together. Midnight comes and goes. She's still not back. I try reading the newspaper, but the words swim on the page. I try turning on the TV, flipping channels, but everything irritates me. The dog, our old Labrador, wanders up to me, resting his muzzle on my knee. I pat his head, grateful for at least one honest living soul in this house. By 2 a.m., I can barely function. Sleep beckons, but I'm on edge. Finally, near 3:30 a.m., headlights flash outside. Her car pulls in. I turn off the living room lamp, plunging the room into darkness. I hear the door open, then the hush of her steps. She's probably hoping I'm asleep in bed. I'm not. I'm here, behind a corner, hearing her fumble. She sets something on the kitchen table, a small bag that might hold a token grocery item to keep the lie alive. Then she heads to our bedroom. I wait a few minutes, then follow quietly. She's lying under the covers, phone in hand, probably telling him she got home safely, or reliving their time together in a short, sweet message. I wish I could see her screen. But it's enough to know she's playing right into my sabotage. If she tries to type those 3 words to him, if she tries to offer him the stolen devotion that was once mine, she'll see what I did. I slip into bed, turning my back to her. She doesn't say a thing. There's a faint click as she locks her phone. Then she shifts, facing away from me too. We lie like that, an empty gulf between us, for a long time. Eventually, I sleep, though my dreams are sour and tangled. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The next few days pass in a blur. She becomes more and more distant, like a woman who's half in another world. She still tries to act normal, but I see the cracks. Occasionally, I notice her phone in her hand, her eyes flashing with confusion or upset. Did she just type something that turned into, "I betray you"? Did she quickly backspace, heart hammering, telling herself it's some glitch? I want to see her face in that exact moment, to watch the color drain from her cheeks. She must realize something is off, but she doesn't confront me, doesn't mention it. Instead, tension coils tighter. On the 4th night, I get my proof. She leaves her phone on the bed while she showers. A risky move, but presumably, she's used to me not prying. I pick it up and open her messages. There it is, a string of frantic texts to M. She types "I love," and it gets replaced with "I betray." She tried it multiple times. The conversation is disjointed. M. You there? Her. I'm sorry. I betray you. Her. I didn't mean that. Phone is messing up. M. You? What do you mean? Are you okay? Her. I don't know. I betray you. Her. Something's wrong with my phone. I love you. I betray you. Oh God, it's stuck. Reading it, I feel a grim satisfaction. So this is what it's like to see her lose control. She's telling him she loves him, but each time, she's forced to declare, "I betray you." The truth is almost poetic. I snap a few photos of the screen with my own phone. An odd impulse. Maybe evidence, maybe closure. Then I hear the water shut off in the bathroom, and I quickly lock her phone, putting it back. I step out of the room, slipping down the hall. My heart is pounding with adrenaline, but my face stays blank. I'm in surgeon mode, precise, unflinching, ready for the final cut. She emerges from the shower, hair damp, pajamas clinging to her figure. She sees me in the hallway and tries a half smile that collapses immediately. "Hey," she says softly, as if searching for the right words. I look at her, really look at her. For a moment, I see the woman I married. The same eyes, the same softness at the corners of her mouth. I wonder if I can still find love in there. But the memory of her leaving at 4 in the morning, of the phone calls, of the messages to him, is too strong. My chest tightens, and I say nothing. I just turn away and head to the living room. She follows, uncertain. "John," she tries. Can we talk?" I nod, but I don't look at her. I sit on the couch and wait. Let her do the talking. Let her set the stage for the final confrontation. She stands a few feet away, one hand drifting to her throat nervously. She begins, then falters. I feel like something's wrong. "You're distant." I meet her gaze, letting the weight of silence press down. "We haven't been right for a long time." She flinches, looks down at the carpet. "I know, but it's not beyond repair, is it?" I exhale, cool as ice. "You tell me." She hesitates, as if expecting me to accuse her. But I don't. I just stare. Finally, she sits in the armchair across from me, her posture rigid. She glances at her phone on the coffee table, then back at me. "Listen, is there something you want to ask me?" she says. Her voice shakes. She's bracing herself, maybe hoping to control the narrative, to spin a half-truth. I shake my head slowly. "No, I don't have questions. I have answers." She looks confused. "Answers to what?" "To why the phone is acting strange," I say, voice steady. "To why certain words appeared differently than intended." Her face goes pale. She clutches the arm of the chair. Her eyes flick from the phone to me, and back again. "John," she whispers, but that's all she manages. I let the silence stretch for a moment. Then I stand, walk to the coffee table, and pick up her phone. She watches, paralyzed. I toss it lightly onto the table in front of her. The screen is still locked, but she knows what's inside. "Go on," I say quietly. "Look at your messages." She doesn't move. I lean in, resting my hands on my knees. "Go on," I repeat, my tone measured. "Send a text. Type 'I love you.' See what happens." She swallows, a tear forming in the corner of her eye. You did something to it." "Yes." Another long pause. Then, trembling, she picks up the phone, unlocks it, and opens the text thread with him. Her thumbs hover over the screen. She can't bring herself to type. She's too stunned, too guilty. She looks up at me, tears brimming now. She doesn't try to deny it. She doesn't try to lie. She knows the game is over. When she speaks, her voice is barely a whisper. "I'm sorry." I remain silent, watching her. She sets the phone down, stands, then takes a step toward me. I rise from the couch. We're face to face, close enough to feel each other's breath. Hers is ragged, laced with panic. Mine is slow, methodical. The scalpel is in my hand. Figuratively, the final incision is about to be made. "John, I never meant. I just..." She can't form a coherent sentence. The tears roll down her cheeks. "I'm so sorry," she repeats, voice cracking. I turn slightly, walking toward the side table where a small lamp casts a weak glow. I place my hand on the lamp, turning it off, plunging the living room into half-darkness. Then I look back at her. Her eyes glisten in the dim light. I can't quite describe the sensation in my chest. It's not triumph, not glee. It's a hollow ache, because I never really wanted to humiliate her. I just wanted the truth to be undeniable. For both of us. Maybe that's what closure looks like. Maybe it's the stillness after the final blow. Who is he? I ask, my voice quiet. Michael? She nods, tears continuing. How long? She opens her mouth, but no words come out. She stares at me, anguished. Her shoulders quake. A few months, she finally manages, voice barely audible. I feel a sharp twist in my gut. But I don't show it. And do you love him? She closes her eyes, 2 fresh tears slipping down. Then she shakes her head. I thought I did. Or maybe I was lost. We were so broken, John. I didn't know how to fix it. And he was there. He offered me something. I don't even know what anymore. My jaw tightens. And yet you went back to him. Over and over. She nods miserably. Yes. I'm sorry. I know I can't excuse it. But She trails off, unable to finish. I step around the coffee table, standing by the window. Step 3, I think. The final unraveling. She's seeing it, feeling it. The trust is dead. I sense that numbness creeping into my veins. Maybe that's the real price of betrayal. A cold emptiness you can't fill, even if you wanted to. She crosses her arms, as if trying to hold herself together. Are you leaving me? She asks in a cracked whisper. I don't reply immediately. My mind is a whirlwind of rage, sorrow, a twisted sense of relief that at least we're not lying anymore. When I finally speak, my voice is almost a monotone. I don't know yet. She steps closer, tears making her voice tremble. I'll do anything to make this right. I'll cut him off, I promise. I just want us to heal. Us. I let out a short, bitter laugh. You destroyed us. My eyes burn, but I keep my composure. You walked out at 4 in the morning to be with him. You texted him, told him you loved him. Meanwhile, I was here, in the dark, feeling like a fool. She crumples to her knees, hands pressed to her face, sobbing. The sight of her like that might have broken me once, but now, it's too late. The tears can't wash away what she's done. The final, raw cut has been made, and there's no going back. I walk over to where she kneels. She looks up at me, eyes pleading. I say nothing. I want to let the silence burn her. I think of all the times I pleaded in my head for her honesty, all the times I suspected. Now she sees what it's like to be speechless in the face of a truth you can't dodge. After a long moment, I take a step back. We'll talk tomorrow, I say in a flat tone. I can't look at you right now. She tries to reach for me. John. I turn and leave the living room, heading for the guest bedroom, shutting the door behind me. I hear her weeping on the other side. Muffled. My breath catches in my throat, and I press my forehead against the cool wood. My eyes close, and I let out a long, trembling exhalation. I'm not sure if I'm about to collapse too, but I hold it together, inch by inch. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The next morning, she's gone before I wake up. This time, it's not for him. I sense she's gone to work early, trying to escape the house. Good. I don't want to see her face today. I need to think. The dog looks up at me with worried eyes, sensing something is off. I pet his head. It's okay, buddy, I whisper, though it's not okay at all. I showered, dress. The day goes by in a haze. I pretend to focus on my job, but I can't. People talk to me, ask me questions, and I respond with autopilot phrases. They don't see the wound inside me. Maybe that's what it means to be strong, to hide the damage until you can't anymore. When I get home that evening, she's sitting in the kitchen, phone abandoned, her face pale and drawn. She must have been crying earlier because her eyes are red. She looks up the second I walk in, but I don't speak to her right away. I hang my jacket, walk to the sink, pour myself a glass of water. She waits, hands knotted in front of her. I can feel the tension radiating off her. Finally, I turn to her. Where do we stand? I ask, keeping my voice measured. Her chin trembles. I love you, she says, voice shaky, as if it hurts to speak. Not him, I swear. I close my eyes for a moment. But you said it to him. You did more than say it. You acted on it. Her breath hitches. I thought we were broken. I thought you. I don't know. Maybe I just lost faith. She wipes a tear. And I let my guard down around him. But it's nothing. It's over. Over? I echo. You sure about that? Because I can't keep going like this. She nods feverishly. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll show you, I promise. I study her, scanning for sincerity. I see desperation, guilt, fear, maybe regret. But do I see love? Hard to say. Does she see what she's done, how she's torn my heart out? Perhaps. But can she mend it with a few teary declarations? I doubt it. We sit in stiff silence. Finally, she says, is there anything I can do to make you trust me again? My gaze drops to her phone on the table. I don't think trust can be forced. I say quietly, you can't fix it with a grand gesture or a promise. It has to be real, day by day. And that might not be enough for me. She exhales, tears silently dripping onto the tabletop. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry. Save it, I mutter. I've heard it enough times. I want actions, not words. She nods, swallowing hard. I understand. I push away from the table, heading to the living room. My plan is done. I got what I wanted. The raw truth, laid bare. The difference is, the truth didn't offer me a sense of victory. It just left me hollow, like a cavity in my chest where love used to be. Maybe that's the real punishment, for both of us. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk that night. I can't sleep in the same bed with her. I move my pillow to the guest room again. At 2 a.m., I wander through the house, my mind restless. I see her phone on the kitchen counter, silently charging. I open the fridge, take a swig of water. My reflection on the stainless steel door looks older, wearier. Suddenly, headlights wash across the window. At this hour, it's unusual, and my pulse spikes. I move to the front door and peek out. A car idles out there. Sleek, black, expensive looking. A figure steps out, tall, broad-shouldered. I know it's him, Michael. My stomach twists. He starts toward the front porch. My hands clench. It's he here to confront me, to claim her. Anger flares, sharp and immediate. But I hold it together. A surgeon doesn't lose control. I open the door just as he raises his fist to knock. He stands there, faintly illuminated by the porch light. I see recognition in his face. I'm her husband. He squares his shoulders, tries to look confident, but I can tell he's tense. John, right? He says. I fold my arms. What are you doing here? He glances past me, like he's hoping she'll appear. I need to talk to Rebecca, he says, voice low, as if not wanting to wake neighbors. I step onto the porch, close the door behind me. She's not available. Go home. He shakes his head, his jaw set. I just want to clear the air. Things got confusing. She sent those weird messages. I'm not trying to cause problems. I let out a humorless laugh. Too late for that, don't you think? He sighs, his eyes flicking around, searching for some sign of her. Look, we didn't mean for it to get this far. She told me your marriage was basically over. I was there for her. It just happened. My mouth twists in disgust. Spare me the sob story. You both knew exactly what you were doing. He exhales, exasperated. Why sabotage her phone, man? That was cruel. I lift my chin. Call it a wake-up call. She didn't want to talk. Fine. I gave her no choice. He shakes his head, stepping forward. I hold my ground. We're nearly nose to nose, tension thick. He's bigger, heavier, but I'm not backing off. Maybe a part of me wants him to take a swing so I can unleash all this pent-up rage. But he doesn't move to strike. Instead, he lowers his voice. "I just wanted to see if she's okay," he says. After those texts, she stopped replying. I'm worried. I grit my teeth. "She's not your concern anymore. Get out of here." He sets his jaw. "You can't keep me from talking to her if she wants." I cut him off. "If she wants to talk to you, she knows where to find you. But I strongly suggest you leave before things get ugly." My voice is low, trembling with controlled fury. I'm on the edge, my heart pounding. He stares at me for a moment, then nods once, tight-lipped. "Fine. But tell her. She doesn't need your messages," I snap. "Go." He bites back whatever he was about to say, turns on his heel, and strides to his car. The engine revs. He pulls away, leaving me alone on the porch, adrenaline shaking in my limbs. I stand there a moment, letting the night air cool my skin. Then I go inside and find her in the hallway, awake, eyes wide. She must have heard everything. "You told him off," she murmurs, voice trembling. "He was just trying to talk." I close the door firmly. He's got no right to be here, disturbing us at 2 in the morning. She looks down, nodding. I didn't invite him. I release a shaky breath. "Then why is he so desperate to see you?" Her cheeks flush. He probably wanted reassurance, or to check if I'm okay after those texts I messed up. She hesitates. "But I don't want him here either. I told him it's over." I search her face for honesty. "Did you?" Her eyes fill with tears. "Yes," she whispers. "I haven't replied to him in days. I realized how badly I screwed everything up." The tension in my shoulders is immense. I turn away, run a hand through my hair. "So what now?" She steps closer, carefully placing a hand on my back. This time I don't recoil, but I don't lean into her either. "Can we try to fix this? If you can't forgive me, I understand. But if there's even a chance..." I swallow. My throat's tight. "I don't know." Then, releasing a heavy breath, I look at her. "I'll need time. And you need to cut him off. Entirely. No calls, no texts, no chance meetings." She nods, tears brimming. "I will. I promise." I feel exhausted. The adrenaline crash leaves me weak, numb. I'm sleeping in the guest room. I say, "Don't push this. Let me breathe." She drops her hand to her side, sorrow etched into her features. "Okay," she murmurs, stepping away, letting me go. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Days pass, then weeks. We coexist in a fragile truce. I remove the autocorrect sabotage from her phone. Some part of me wants to free both of us from that tension. She, for her part, changes her number to block him out. I watch her do it. Even so, the trust between us is a shattered mirror. We go to bed at separate times. We talk in halting phrases. Sometimes I see her crying when she thinks I'm not around. Sometimes I brood in silence, that same numbness creeping in. One late afternoon, I return from a short run, sweat cooling on my skin. She's in the living room, reading, and sets down the book when I enter. We regard each other with a guarded look. Then she takes a breath. "I made dinner," she says. "Just pasta. You must be hungry." I hesitate. Then I nod. "Yeah, I am." We sit at the dining table, a table that once held laughter and candlelight dinners. Now it's quiet, filled with the ghosts of what we were. She places the plate before me. I taste it. It's good. She's always been a decent cook. But the mood is tense. She looks at me, wanting something. Some sign of acceptance, perhaps. I keep eating, acknowledging the food, not quite the woman. "John," she says, voice trembling. "I know things will never be the same. I wanted you to know I'm trying. I'll keep trying, as long as it takes." I set my fork down, meeting her eyes. "You hurt me," I say plainly. "I'm not sure that's something I can fully get over. But if there's any path forward, it involves a lot of honesty. No more secrets, no more lies." She blinks back tears, nodding. I understand. A strained silence. Then she says, almost in a whisper, I really am sorry. If I could undo it. I wave a hand, cutting her off gently. You can't. We can only see what's left and decide if it's worth salvaging. She bows her head. Do you think it is? My chest tightens. A swirl of emotion threatens to break my calm exterior. Finally, I say, I hope so. She exhales, a tear rolling down her cheek, and a faint spark of relief crosses her expression. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. In the weeks that follow, we begin a slow process, like trying to rebuild a house after a hurricane. We speak more openly. We attend a few couples therapy sessions, something she suggests, and I grudgingly agree to. I talk about the anger, the betrayal, the nights I sat alone while she snuck off to be with him. She confesses her confusion, her guilt, how she felt unloved and lost after the tragedies in our life. We peel back layers of resentment and bitterness. It's not pretty. There's no easy fix. But still, there are moments. Moments when she lays a hand on my arm and I don't pull away, or when she cooks my favorite meal just because she remembers. Tiny flickers of the bond we once had. Sometimes we manage a soft, hesitant laugh over something trivial, and in those seconds, I see a glimmer of hope. It's not forgiveness, not yet, but maybe a faint path in the darkness. One night, she sits next to me on the couch while we watch an old black-and-white movie. Our Labrador snores gently at our feet. She leans her head against my shoulder, and for the first time in months, I allow it. My breath catches in my chest, and I feel that old warmth stir inside me. It's terrifying and comforting all at once. She whispers, I love you, testing the words carefully, as if worried they might morph into something else. I close my eyes. The sabotage is gone now, no more replaced words, but the memory lingers. I reply, Lo, I know. Maybe that's enough for tonight. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. There comes a point, many weeks later, when I run into Michael in town. It's unplanned. I walk out of the coffee shop, and he's passing on the sidewalk. We both freeze. Then he nods curtly. John, he says. I look at him, feeling a wave of tension. He's the man who trespassed on my marriage, who made me question everything. But I also see a trace of regret in his face. Maybe he's realized he lost more than he gained. He opens his mouth, maybe to say something. I'm not sure if it's an apology or a challenge. But I'm done with him. I walk past without acknowledging him. A block later, I exhale, my heart pounding. My fingers shake with leftover adrenaline. But I don't look back. That part of my life is over. I'm focused on the uncertain road ahead, on whether I can salvage my marriage or whether the cracks are simply too deep. At home, she asks if something's wrong. I tell her I saw him. She pales. What did he say? Nothing, I reply. He looked like he might, but I kept walking. She nods, relief mingled with sadness in her eyes. Thank you, she murmurs, though I'm not sure for what. Maybe for not escalating it. I give a slight shrug. I don't want any more drama. I just want. I hesitate, searching for the words. Peace, I guess. She reaches for my hand. I let her take it. Her grip is warm, tentative, but I don't pull away. We stand like that in silence, two broken people trying to find their way back. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Therapy continues, though it's not a quick fix. The counselor sits behind a desk, nodding encouragingly as we unpack old wounds. We talk about our lost child, about unspoken blame, about the slow distance that crept between us. It's messy, heartbreaking. She cries. I fight tears. We push through sessions where I question if love can truly survive this level of betrayal. She sometimes doubts if I'll ever look at her without remembering the affair. It's raw, it's brutal, it's exhausting. But over time, I notice a shift in her. She's more present. She leaves her phone lying around openly now. No passcode but the standard numeric one she's always had. If it rings, she doesn't rush to it. She's trying to show me trust. She's hoping it might rebuild mine. I'm wary, but I see her efforts. One day, I open up more than usual. I watched you walk out that door at 4 in the morning, and I felt like I was bleeding inside. But I couldn't scream. I couldn't chase you. I just died a little. She breaks into tears. If I could turn back time, I would. I'd wake up that day and do everything differently. I nod, swallowing the lump in my throat. I know. It doesn't fix the past, but at least she acknowledges it. Sometimes that has to be enough. For now. Months turn into half a year. We settle into a new, fragile normal. And then, one night, everything comes to a head again, unexpectedly. We're having dinner. The TV is on in the background, some talk show. We're not really paying attention. She sets down her fork and takes a breath. "John," she says softly, "do you think you can forgive me?" I look at her. The question hangs in the air, heavy. Forgiveness is not a simple yes or no. It's a slow letting go of resentment. I weigh my words carefully. "I'm trying." I say at last. "I honestly don't know if it'll ever be full forgiveness, but I'm trying to move forward." She nods, tears gathering. She swallows, glances at the clock. It's almost midnight. We've been talking for hours about everything. Life, the future, the possibility of renewing our vows, or maybe traveling together to reconnect. She takes a shuddering breath. "Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night," she admits, "and I can't believe I almost threw us away. I hate myself for it. I hate that I hurt you." My eyes flick to the corner of the room, where a framed photo of us on our wedding day stands. We look so young, so hopeful. I recall that day's vow. "I will love you, cherish you, and remain faithful until death do us part." She broke that vow. Now she's trying to piece it back together. And me, I'm trying to let her. I push aside my plate, stand from the table. She stands too, watching me with anxious eyes. I move around the table, and for the first time in a long while, I wrap my arms around her. She presses her face to my chest, trembling. It's a tentative embrace, but it's more than we shared in months. A quiet moment passes. I feel her heartbeat against mine. Then I speak into her hair softly. "I don't know how this ends, but if we have a chance, it starts with us standing right here, right now, wanting to try." She nods, tears on my shirt. I do. I want to try. We stand there, the faint glow from the kitchen light casting shadows on the walls. I remember the older neighbors I once saw, holding hands on their porch, who told me, "Marriage is about weathering every storm." Are we weathering it, or are we drowning? I'm not entirely sure, but at least we're not lying anymore. Time keeps moving. Gradually, we share the same bed again. The first few nights are awkward, full of tension, but we push through it. I feel her warm body next to me, and sometimes I think of him. It's an image I have to force away. She senses it, apologizes with her eyes, but we both keep trying. We talk about seeing her family again. We talk about maybe moving to a new home, starting over. My job remains stable, but I think about transferring to another branch or exploring a new path. She suggests that might help us break free of the old memories tied to these streets, that beach, that house where he used to meet her. Still, the real question remains, can we truly be happy, or is this a slow descent into mutual resentment? I don't have the answer. But every day, I choose to stay a little longer, to see if trust can regrow. She meets me halfway by being transparent, by comforting me when I spiral into doubt. Sometimes I catch her crying alone, but she no longer hides it. Maybe that honesty is the bedrock we need, or maybe it'll prove insufficient. Yet something in me, call it stubbornness or hope, drives me to keep going. Maybe it's the memory of who we were, or the faint possibility that we can rediscover that closeness. She no longer soothes me with words about how perfect we'll be. Instead, she says, "I'll work for your forgiveness until my last breath if I have to. And that vow, ironically, is the closest I've felt to genuine love in a long time. One evening, after a particularly grueling therapy session, where we rehashed old arguments, she and I find ourselves sitting on the back porch. The sunset bleeds orange and pink across the sky. She leans against the wooden railing, arms folded. I stand next to her. The air is thick with humidity, the ocean breeze carrying the salt of the Atlantic. She speaks first, voice soft. "Do you remember when we first came here? How we fell in love with the sound of the waves at night?" I nod, a lump in my throat. "Yeah." We said it felt like the ocean was singing us to sleep. She manages a small smile. "I want to feel that again." A pang of longing hits me. So do I. We stand quietly, side by side, the day's light slipping away. She rests her head on my shoulder. I don't move for a long while. Then, slowly, I slip an arm around her waist. She lets out a shaky breath, and we watch the horizon swallow the sun. Tomorrow, I don't know if it'll be better or worse. I only know that for this moment, we're here, together, listening to the ocean's lullaby. Sometimes, maybe that's all we can do, survive the night, make it to the next dawn. About 6 months after the night I sabotage her phone. We have our final therapy session, at least for now. The counselor believes we've reached a place where we can manage on our own, with occasional check-ins if we need them. We walk out of the office, and for the first time in a long time, we share a genuine laugh over something small. It feels bizarre, but good. She drives us home, the radio playing softly. We hardly speak, yet there's a mutual understanding in the air, a gentle sense that we've come a long way. My chest still aches sometimes, but it's more of a scar than a fresh wound. I glance at her, noticing the lines of worry on her face have softened. She catches me looking and offers a shy smile. Maybe we're both discovering that love can be wounded and still survive, though it'll never be the same. At home, she sets her purse down, and I head to the fridge for a drink. She follows, standing near me with an air of expectancy. I turn to face her, leaning against the kitchen counter. She clears her throat. "So, what happens now?" I sip my water, letting the coolness steady me. "We keep going, I guess," I reply. "We see if this new version of us can actually work." She nods, then hesitates, as if summoning courage. "John." I hold up a hand gently. "I know. You're sorry. You love me. You want to fix this. I appreciate it. But let's not rush with words. Let's show each other with our actions, day by day." She smiles faintly, tears threatening to fall but not quite making it. "Deal." We stand there in that small kitchen, the overhead light casting a soft glow. The dog pads in, tail wagging, oblivious to our emotional drama. Outside, the moon is high, shining through the window. It's not a fairy tale ending. We're not newlyweds recapturing the perfect bliss. We're two bruised souls trying to patch up the cracks enough to hold on. And for the first time in a while, that feels enough like hope to keep us both breathing. Sometimes, in the stillness of late night, I revisit that moment when I changed her phone settings, turning "I love you" into "I betray you." The memory is sharp, like a polished scalpel. It was a cruel act, born out of heartbreak and a twisted need to see her confronted with the truth. Part of me regrets the cruelty, but another part can't deny that it forced open a door of honesty between us. Without that raw confrontation, maybe we'd still be drowning in silence and suspicion. Life doesn't tie things up neatly, though. The shadows of her infidelity linger, the reminders that trust can be shattered with a single betrayal. We'll both carry it, probably forever. But we carry it together. Now, she no longer hides in midnight drives and secret texts. I no longer brood in the dark, letting my suspicions fester unchallenged. If that's strength, so be it. If it's foolish hope, I'll take my chances. Before bed, I sometimes watch her as she sleeps. Her breathing is quieter now, not that guilty, breathless thing it once was. It's still soft, but calmer, as if she's finally at rest. I don't know if we'll make it, but I do know that I'm not the same man I was. My illusions are gone. What's left is a harder, colder reality. And maybe that's how we survive, by learning to live in truth, even if it scars us. One night, she stirs, half awake, and finds me looking at her. She reaches a hand out, touches my cheek. "John," she murmurs, voice thick with sleep. I stare at her, trying to read what's in her eyes. Then I cover her hand with mine. "It's okay," I whisper, though I'm not sure if I'm reassuring her or myself. "Go back to sleep." She nods, drifting off. The faint lines of worry on her forehead ease. I lie beside her, wide awake, the silence heavy yet strangely comforting. I imagine a future where we grow old, maybe forging a new closeness out of these ashes, or a future where we eventually part ways, deciding we can't outrun the ghosts of betrayal. Either way, the next sunrise will come. We'll face it however we can, together or apart. For now, she's here. I'm here. And maybe that's all there is, a fragile truce built on honesty and remorse, overshadowed by a betrayal that nearly destroyed us both. But I'm still breathing, and so is she. Strength, they call it. Perhaps they're right. Or maybe it's just stubbornness. In either case, I've learned that the most terrifying part of infidelity isn't the raging fury or the heartbreak. It's the cold distance, the quiet that hollows you out, the knowledge that someone who once slept in your arms can become a stranger. That knowledge stays with me, a cautionary spark that flickers even when we're wrapped in each other's arms. Yet I choose to keep going. I might never fully trust again, but I can learn to live with the uncertainty. And if she's truly committed to rebuilding what she broke, perhaps, day by day, I'll see a reason to let her back into my heart, or perhaps not. Either way, I'm here, steel in my spine, speaking calmly, slicing through the lies with a surgeon's precision. That's all I can do. We'll see what tomorrow brings. As I lie there, I catch the faint rise and fall of her chest. Her breathing is steady, unguarded. And I think to myself, you are strong, right? Strong enough to stand up and face the truth, no matter how dark it gets. At least, that's what I tell myself. Whether I believe it or not is another question. But for now, it keeps me from falling apart, and maybe that's all the strength a man really needs.